Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the URC. This one, a very intriguing matchup. Edinburgh at home taking on the Bulls. Now, in terms of the odds, these two sides are 50-50 heading into this contest, and every single point on that URC table currently crucial. As you can see, the Bulls are sitting there in 11th. They are on 16 points alongside 12th and 13th, and then Edinburgh 17 points for them. Both these sides have only played the 8 games. There's a lot of ground to make up for some of these sides. Definitely when you start to look at the fact that one of these two sides, if they suffer a loss, you're forever playing catch-up with that top 8. Benetton currently right on the verge of either making it through or missing out. Have to wait and see exactly how they end up going. But looking through at the starting lineups for these two sides, I have to say pretty stacked teams for this contest, and I do like the fact that the Bulls have gone strong away from home. It just shows how crucial this match is for the overall season, but for the starting lineup of the home side, they are going to be as follows: Pierre Skurman, Ewan Ashman, Darcy Ray. Now, Ewan Ashman has a way of just finding himself over the try line. He's got pure pace. He takes little steps, but boy does he motor forward. He'll be a dangerous man. In that front row, Glenn Young and Grant Gilchrist as the locking duo, so one international Scottish player in there, Liam McConnell, Freddie Douglas, and the captain, Magnus Bradbury. He'll be there as the number 8. Ben Bellicott alongside Ross Thompson as the 9 and 10 combo. Duan Fundermerva, Darcy Graham, and Harry Patterson make up the back 3, so a lot of power out on Duan's wing. Darcy with the pace on the other side, and then a handy midfield combo of James Lang and also Wes Hussen. Looking through at this Bulls side, it is Jan-Hendrik Wessels, Johan Grubelaar, and Wilco Lowe as the number 3. Now, Wilco Lowe did not play last week, but he is now back for this Bulls side. He's a scrummaging machine, and him versus Pierre Skurman, it's international caliber scrums throughout this contest, and will certainly be Marcel Ruan Vermaak and Ruan Nokia, the Ruans, in the lock-in duo here for the Bulls. Marcel Kutsia alongside Gumeri and Yandre Rudolph as the loose forward trio. Zach Berger and Andre Pollard as that 9 and 10 duo. So one that's slowly been building for this Bulls side. Although I think a lot of people would say at the moment that Ambroise Papier, some would like to see him starting in this type of matchup. He seems to have that little bit more tempo, but Zach Berger definitely a handy player to have out there on the park. Kirtley Aronsa back in the starting lineup for the first time since his injury. David Creel back at 12 with Sebastian de Klerk on the outside. Cheswell Euster, that man had an insane try last week with that little chip in behind. And then also Willy Larue as the number 15. He is a man that at the moment you don't know if he is popular amongst the Bulls fans, although I think at the moment the answer is no, but has he got a good game in him that then puts him back? And in those good books, there are a lot of people in the chat already. Hope you guys are all doing well. I should also mention there are 3 games happening simultaneous to, in this morning or in the evening for you guys overseas. Ospreys versus Lions, another South African side, will be in action. Edinburgh versus the Bulls, of course, this one. And then Munster versus Dragons also taking place. And also a relatively crucial game in terms of the overall one. We have got who is winning this match. It's a tough one. The Bulls come in as favourite, though, which is something that has not happened for this side in a little bit of time. They were underdogs in their matchup against Poe just last week. Managed to pull off the last-minute victory that ended the Bulls' losing streak. So who knows? Maybe it's the start of a winning streak here for this Bulls side. But it's going to take a big effort. Edinburgh are a good side, and they seem to get just that little bit better when they're playing in front of the home crowd. We have got there listening to this game. Hi all, says Patrick. Welcome in. Hope you're doing extremely well. Hi Amish, how you doing, says Philip. I'm doing extremely well. I'm very excited for this contest. I will mention, initially we weren't going to be covering this game, as during the second half I will actually be leaving because I have to get on the road and drive about 2.5 hours. But I have got a guest who will be coming on to cover the second half for us. Some of you guys will already know him. And he is a Bulls supporter. So depending on how they're going throughout this first half will depend on whether the mood is high or the mood is low. Heading into that second half, do you think the Dragons have a chance against Munster? I think the Dragons are very unpredictable, and Munster, they will be a little bit hurting after the fact that they missed out on the Champions Cup. So I don't know if I want to be the Dragons. Definitely with the fact that that is a home game for Munster, it could end up being a 30-point win for the Munstermen, but at the same time, it could go the other way. Maybe those little few moments that haven't gone Munster's way happen again up against the Dragons and find themselves missing out. We have got there, good evening. How is my best friend Hamish? Is it true Ospreys last week, our last game today and next week? Says Mohadeen. I actually haven't heard a huge amount about it. I know that there's stuff going on with Welsh Union or Rugby Union at the moment that people don't like, but I haven't actually read into it. So if that is the case, it's a big call. But then at the same time, with where they are sitting on the table, maybe they're going, well, we need to, look at it again. But then, they're ninth. So ninth is not too bad in the overall standings. I would have thought that, you'd at least give them to the end of the season. They probably owe them that much, right? Give them a chance of being able to win the whole thing. And also, no answer to 5 guarantee, says Patrick Deere. And also, greetings from Cape Town, says Ruth. Hope you are doing well. And hi, go Edinburgh, says Johan there. And evening all, Pale Royals were a disaster against Sunrisers earlier. I think Edinburgh will win, says Jan. That's the thing. If the Bulls don't start this match well, Edinburgh do have a great chance of being able to win this. But I think it's going to be close. Either way, I don't see either of these sides running away with it. Even when the Bulls were on a bit of their rough kind of losing streak, anytime they lost games by big margins, it was normally with an experimental side. So I think even if they were to somehow lose this, it would still be pretty close overall. Did you know that Glasgow are 25 out of 25? Haven't lost to Zebra Palmer. 25 from 25 is very impressive. And they are away from home, aren't they, the Glasgow Warriors? So who knows what happens. I think that Zebra look a lot better this year than they have in the past. 1 second, I'm about to sneeze again, so I will quickly mute. And by that, I mean I will sneeze 3 times in a row. Good evening, Hamish and chat. Says, hey, no, welcome in, mate. I hope you're doing extremely well. Are you on tomorrow night? We are doing that Stormers versus Sharks match. So, yeah, that should be a very good game. South African derby, one of many that we get to see throughout the next few weeks. I'll have to wait and see how that goes. But looking through at the previous results for these two sides, starting with Edinburgh, they had a close game up against Benetton in the URC, but were able to win it 15 points to 14, which I think narrowed that gap between themselves and Benetton, who currently sit only the 2 rankings ahead of Edinburgh at this point. In the Champions Cup, they had a close game up against Gloucester. Managed to win that one 26 points to 24, and they'd prefer it if you don't talk about that game that took place on the 17th of January, as it was 63-10 in favour of Bath. Not exactly the scoreline that Edinburgh would have been after, but it happens. I feel like it's one of those ones that everyone's had a bit of a blowout at some stage throughout the season. Perhaps that will be the only one for this Edinburgh side. For the Bulls, they had their close game up against the Stormers, but it was a defeat. They had their relatively close game up against Bristol. It was 110 points scored between those two sides, and in the end, the Bears able to get the win at Loftus, and then that away game that they were able to win 26 points to 24 over Poe. It could be the turning point for this Bulls side under their new coaches. Maybe it's the one that gets them in the right track, and they can start picking up some victories. But this is also what is coming up in the next round of the URC while we are at it, and while I am about to sneeze again. But as you can see, some exciting games just around the corner taking place. We are good, hopefully. We'll mention the coverage has just kicked off for us here in New Zealand as well of Edinburgh. It looks like it's a dark, I don't think it's a wet night by the looks of that. It might just be clear. Hopefully, anyway, because I don't think we need any rain for this contest. We have got there a bit tired, but all good. Massive game. Must win for both teams. Almost like a 6-pointer in football, maybe like a 10-pointer or 8-pointer, you call it in rugby. Says, hey, no, yeah, the points that are available here are so crucial. And to be fair, whoever loses this game needs to secure themselves, I would say, at least one losing bonus point if they still want a chance of having a very good opportunity to go into the top 8. Because or else, once that gap gets to more than about, I'd say, 4 points in the URC standings, sometimes that's just a little bit too much to be able to make up. And, you look through at certain sides. The Sharks, for instance, I know that I probably have picked on the Sharks a little bit when referring to the table and whatnot. But if they lose their game to the Stormers, that question mark of can they make up at least 5 points throughout their remaining games with the fact that they've got some South African derbies around the corner. Have they still got the opportunity of making the quarterfinals? And some would probably almost say no. Okay, it is raining. I can see it now through the They've got the light stand. It's actually drizzling, bucketing down in some aspects as well, I think. Looking at that, very heavy drizzle. If it is just the drizzle, unless that's just the way that it looks on the camera. But no, it's going to be a wet one. Is that good news for the Bulls? I would say probably not. Definitely with the handling numbers going up for the Bulls, but it is still a tricky day at the office, playing on this type of AstroTurf as well. The Bulls, if they lose this game, they are then separated by at least 2 points, if not more. Now, the only benefit by the sounds of it is that maybe the Ospreys aren't going to be there. It's a side they have to get past. We have a good day morning, Hamish and everyone. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well, Thuds Rays and Mai Tai Tours. I see, come on, guys, give this guy a thumbs up. So, yeah, hope you are doing extremely well. And hope you're excited for this game. Has anyone noticed the spelling of Kirtley's surname? Says Philip. Yeah, I've had a bit of a butcher there, haven't I? I decided I'd do the names myself this week and try and put in a good effort. I like how closely you guys observe these streams, though, because every time there is a spelling error, someone notices it. So I feel like you guys are much better at spell checking than myself. But at the moment, just waiting for the teams to make their way out onto the field. Edinburgh have got a decent 4-pack by the looks of it. Decent backs as well for this contest. Duan Whanamurva out on one wing. Darcy Graham out on the other. What does the Hive Stadium look like? Scotstoun. Says Kahu. I didn't tell you. But the back three. I feel like Patterson's a little bit of the hidden gem in that back three, because the way that he is able to attack from 15 could be extremely dangerous for Edinburgh, as I do feel they have to play an attacking game for this contest. If they make any sort of little mistakes, like, this Bulls side is so unpredictable. I'm just thinking back to how many tries they conceded up against the Bristol Bears because of counter-attacks. The fact that they dropped the ball and then just straight through, that is something that Edinburgh can do so well. But this Bulls side, they're starting to find a little bit of rhythm, and maybe it can help them out. I was asleep throughout the week. It was all right. I was working quite a bit throughout this week, so didn't get a lot of sleep-ins and set a lot of early morning starts. We have got there Edinburgh 30 points to 25 as Patrick's prediction. Hi, says Studs Rays in there as well. Welcome in, mate. And Kirill, come on, man, says Ruth. And are you going on holiday? Not exactly. I guess you could call it like a one-day holiday. We'll be leaving in about, I think it's only like an hour's time or so. Actually, a little bit less than that. Heading away about a 2-hour, 30 or 40 drive there. Going for lunch for like a family event thing. And then coming home the other 2.5 hours. And Paddy down with KO says, Martin, I assume you're talking about him versus, who's he fighting? Is he fighting Justin Gaethje? Is that who he's got lined up, Paddy Pimlet, at the moment in the UFC? I think they had a press conference recently, didn't they? And we have got their Scottish not going to be pushovers. And Bulls have rolled out the big guns, picking their turn to corner and going to advance up the table with a good win. Yeah, it just seems like the timing-wise, they've decided, right, we can start really unleashing those big players now, try and push ourselves towards that top 8. Because I think as soon as you start dropping now, it just gets too difficult to make up that ground. But Edinburgh, crowd getting a big cheer as they make their way out onto the field. It's their sevens next week. There certainly is. So it will be the Singapore Sevens taking place. Also, Super Rugby preseason starting up. Edinburgh by 6 or the Bulls by 1. Tell you what, if it's a Bulls by 1 game, I'm sure that the edge of the seat stuff will be happening throughout that last 15 minutes, just like it was up against Poe when they were able to get themselves that final try that secured the first win in quite some time. Right, we've got one last sneeze before the starting whistle, and hopefully that'll be all before the match. Right, we are good, hopefully. Hay fever's hitting me in the face today, ladies and gentlemen. And these two players, these two sets of players, hopefully not hitting each other in the face, as we've had enough cards throughout recent times. I'll be back, got a pour pints, says Patrick. And I don't think Edinburgh has lost at home all year, says Kahu there. And we don't beat them in Edinburgh, says Haino. Well, not many teams do, though. Like, Edinburgh seems to be the location that they've really worked out. They honed their craft here, this Edinburgh side. I remember last year in that, I want to call it the Champions Cup round of 16, was it? Or actually, it might have been the Challenge Cup quarter-final. And it was the fact that Edinburgh were able to get themselves the win there. But when this game's in South Africa, normally different story, but it's going to be kicked off by Edinburgh, going from left to right, the early stages of this contest. And Jandre Rudolph, that is a man that even if the Bulls lose, he will put his body on the line, he will put in huge hits, and he will just keep on going throughout the 80 minutes. Did you hear the Springboks will have the Championship Cup in February? They in the meeting, says Mohadeen. Springboks will have the Championship Cup in February. I have not heard that. What do you mean? Like the Champions Cup? As in like, or are you talking about like the round of 16 and whatnot being confirmed? Maybe? Because I do know that Glasgow Warriors, they are going to be hosting the Bulls in the round of 16 for the Champions Cup. This will be a line-out throw for Edinburgh after the ball went out early. Clearing kick came from the Bulls side, but now Edinburgh find themselves on attack 35 metres out from the Bulls line. And they do often start quick, Edinburgh, in their contests at this location. It's whether or not sides are able to keep up with them when they start motoring. Nice short pass. Darcy Graham thought about the offload, but he's tackled by Zach Berger. And now a little kick attempted in behind from Velicott. And Willie LaRue off the outside of his boot does get that one into touch. Some top wingers on show today, absolutely. Kurt Liarense getting his first start in quite some time. You got Duan van der Merwe, Darcy Graham, and then the youngster, Cheswell Euster. I feel like he's the young player that if the Bulls can play him massively throughout the next two seasons, he's going to be an absolute superstar. In fact, you could argue he already is. Exact minute you on, I am currently on 1 minute 38 here in New Zealand on URC TV. I feel like that's slightly more delayed than Supersport perhaps. But Velicott now going off to the left-hand side. Andre Rudolph trying to fight for that ball, and that one's going to be stolen in the breakdown by the Bulls, picked up by the captain, Marcel Kutsia. Now Berger back across to the left-hand side. Willie LaRue looking for the cross kick. Going up high, but Darcy Graham all the time in the world to be able to take it at the back, and now trying to link up with his other members of this Edinburgh side. To the right now, short side's looking a little bit open, but great tackle made by Jan Hendrik Wessels. Also trying to get back up to his feet. He has lost the footing though. Isn't quite able to go for that turnover. Velicott goes back across to Thompson. A tackle made by Douglas, on Douglas. A year but delayed. I'm excited about the fourth test being played in Baltimore here in the USA. It's about an 8-hour drive. I haven't been able to see the Springboks in like 30 years. So this is super exciting, says Gavin. Yeah, I'd assume that would have to be a sellout, that contest. I know that some people were concerned that there wasn't enough interest over in the US, but I'd say there absolutely is. And, there'll be a lot of people rushing to get tickets for that game. It's going to be a collision there. Grant Gilchrist, the man making the tackle. URC TV is currently frozen for me, so he's making a slow motion tackle. And it's taken him a good few seconds to be able to do so. These two sides coming off very different last games. Like I mentioned, Edinburgh scoring the 10 points but conceding over 60. On the other side of the draw at Poe, they were defeated by this Bulls side. It broke the losing streak and actually secured this Bulls team a spot in the Champions Cup. We will see LaRue in the world, or will we see LaRue? I don't think so. I think that they've got enough other options. The likes of an Apalele Fasi, Damien Valimza can play 15. Theoretically, Sasha could too. They've still got a couple younger guys could find themselves in the mix, like a Kjuan Horn, Kutli Arense, he can play 15. So it all just depends on what Rassi is actually thinking in terms of who would he like to have as his. He'll have two teams at least, though, in terms of options. He'll have one starting 15, and then he'll have the backup 15. But yeah, I think that Valimza will be a bit of a lurker in terms of he can play pretty much anywhere. I will mention Edinburgh now kicking this ball towards the touchline after winning the penalty. Haven't seen Houston play in years. Didn't know he could play 13 as well, says Freshman. Yeah, very versatile. He has been playing a bit of 15 for Edinburgh. Also has played out on the wing, but 13, you call it his third position, but still extremely dangerous. Definitely partnering with James Lang as that midfield duo. And also cold, wet and drippy Scottish Fling Winters, says Ruth. Currently sitting 5 minutes in. And we have got there, Shawardo has said, come on the Bulls. Yeah, they are currently on that one-match winning streak. Trying to extend it to 2 for this contest. That's a good attack and run from Wes Hoos and kept his body position low. Made a couple extra post-contact meters. Now backline movement. Thompson goes across now into the hands of the captain, Bradbury. Are you driving Cape Town, Hamish? I'm not driving to Cape Town. It would take more than 2.5 hours to drive there, I would say. That's close to the try line. Turn on his back. He may have turned over there. Yes, he has. Duan Whanamurva scores the early try for Edinburgh. I think the initial reaction from the Bulls was that they thought that they'd actually be able to hold him up, but then he just kind of swiveled a little bit and managed to get over the try line. Duan Whanamurva scores the first of the match for Edinburgh. Sevens World Cup has been won between the two sides. Of course, the stadium will be packed in the USA, says Monet Lagrange. And also we have got there, that Baltimore Stadium holds 71,000. I'm hoping 41,700 will show up. There are tens of thousands of them in the US. What about New Zealand? So that comment was speaking my text. Capacity hoping for 40,000 South Africans. But the try early from Edinburgh. Like I mentioned, they are quick starters at this location. Normally, if they haven't scored within the first 10 minutes, people are surprised. They seem to just get that early momentum, but it's whether or not they keep it. Oh, that one has gone away to the side for Thompson, so that will keep the score sitting 5-0. Excellent try, but Bulls midfield defence was poor there. Out everyone else under pressure. Says Studs race. Yeah, a lot of easy meters in the middle of the field, even for someone like a Wes Hussen, who is not the biggest man out there on the park by far, but he probably made the post-contact meters of like a prop or a lock or someone running at the opposition. Maduan adds to his try-scoring tally, the number 11 for Edinburgh. I'm not sure whether or not it's just my URC TV. Anyone else who's watching on URC TV, let me know. Is it also cutting in and out for you guys too? Silly penalty to give them a chance as well, says Studs Race. Yeah, you can't afford that ill discipline. Not at this stage of the contest or later on either, but Edinburgh unable to add the additional two. I think we're going to be saying that a lot throughout today, mainly because of the kicking conditions not being favourable. Now going for the box kick here for Edinburgh from inside of their own 22, goes down to halfway. Billy LaRue waits and claims Pollard. Now trying to cut through. He is tackled by his opposite number, Thompson. Zach Berger back to the left. Billy LaRue. Looked like he was shaping up for a kick, but instead we'll go with the wide cutout pass to David Creel. And Hay says, what's up guys live? Welcome in. Zach Berger. Cross to the right-hand side. Seems like we're going with a kicking battle in the first half. Doesn't make sense, says Hayno. Yeah, maybe trying to play into the wet weather conditions a little bit, but I feel like that just plays the ball straight into Edinburgh's hands because they love a counter-attack. And it looks like once again going to the boot here, Zach Berger. Getting ready to put this ball up high. So what's happened so far? We did see the try of Duan Whanamurva. Out on the wing. Oh, nicely taken by Darcy Graham. He will be wrestled into touch though by the Bulls. So a little territory gain of about 2 meters there. URC TV, okay for me so far. Hopefully didn't jinx myself, says Studs Race. And the Dragons look quite good so far, says Kahu. Yeah, 3 matches taking place. Dragons versus Munster. Lions are also playing. That's another South African side. How's the All Blacks coach getting on people? Talking strongly about Dave Rennie. I'm sure Dave Rennie coached Edinburgh this morning. I think it's still Jamie Joseph as the front runner at the moment. It's just more so he won't have Tony Brown with him. By the sounds of it, Jan Hendrik Vezel's almost held up. Well, the Edinburgh defence now, Ruan Nokia goes across to Kitli Arnson, bounces back up to his feet, makes an additional meter, Wilco low. See, even those runs from like Wilco low, he made maybe 1 or 2 meters. Wes Hussen, he went probably about 10. Now, Duan Whanamurva, space out wide, great ankle tap there though from Andre Pollard, but the offload there to James Lang on the inside again here. And Edinburgh looking the real deal. The early stages of this contest, ball in the hands of Ewan Ashman, bounces out the side. They're going to call it as a knock-on. I think the Bulls may have had a little bit of something to do with the fact that that ball came free in the breakdown. And it looks like Edinburgh are perplexed at the moment as to how that is a knock-on against them. 0 hope for Rob Petty, for AB's coach, but I'm a believer, says Studs Race. It was a great run from Duan Whanamurva. It was actually David Creel who got the ankle tap. Right, we're going to see the replay now. Glenn Young gets his offload away on the ground there. Yeah, I'm not sure if there was a knock-on. That angle definitely didn't show it. Dragons winning well, says Kahu, though. Rugby game, 80 minutes. They have to hold on, the Dragons. And they do need the win, to be fair, with where they are sitting on the table. A win for them would boost them up quite nicely. It would put pressure on both of these two sides as well. As you can see here, the Dragons currently sitting on the 16 points. So just the 1 point behind Edinburgh and on the same points as the Bulls. Zach Berger ready to feed this ball into the scrum. He just couldn't control the ball, and that's going to be the penalty going the way of the Bulls. Front row angling in for Edinburgh. Dragons 3-0 versus Munster, 11 minutes play, says Patrick. And what's the temp there? 3 degrees. It must not be much warmer than that. I would say we're probably lucky to be reaching about double figures for this game. That might actually be a bit too optimistic too. It's probably about 7 degrees. In fact, we'll get old Siri on it. How do I start Siri on this phone? What's the temperature in Edinburgh?
It's currently 5 degrees in Edinburgh,
She's
United
yelling
Kingdom.
at me. Why is she so loud? No, you're good. Thank you. Thank you. Chance of rain 100. She's still talking. How do I? Oh, there we go. I fixed it. She's in a yelling mood. Obviously, my phone volume was turned right up. I have no idea why it would be turned right up, though. At least my Siri volume is. Now, and it's going to be Jan Hendrik Wessels. Oh, no, in fact, it's going to be Johan Robela, who hits that ball up, and the penalty is awarded to the Bulls. Crowd not happy about first time you've done Siri on this channel before. I think it's about the third. We've had it a couple times before to check temperatures. I never thought I would say this, but come on the Dragons. Says Flesh in there. Maul booted into touch by the Bulls, so they are not interested in taking 3-pointers. They would instead like to go for that full 7 if available. Tony Brown has an ironclad contract. Can't be released. Tony Brown himself said he's going to honour his contract, says Monet Lagrange. Although it's not an ironclad contract because he did have he can be released from it, I believe, can't he? Like, it was the release clause. It's just more so he's decided that because he signed that contract, he's going to, stick it out. More so than anything else. Let's see how accurate the kicking is here. Or kicking is here. Says Ruth. Yeah, it's not too bad from the Bulls. They will find themselves less than the 10 metres away from the goal line. This is where they need to get that rolling maul going. They have got the physicality in their fullback to do it. You know, Yandre Rudolph, Huamedi, Marcel Kutsia, that is just in the loose forward trio. Can you please game share the Rugby Challenge 4? Says Avayo. Game share the Rugby Challenge 4. As in, post more videos of it? Or how do you game share? And come on, Bulls. Pollard says, hey, no sports there. And Outslice says, Big Rig, if Munster don't get a 5-point win, it'll be a disaster, says Patrick. Yeah, although even 4 points. We have got there, no contractors ironclad if dollars is on the table. Yeah, so I think it's more so he could have left Tony Brown by the sounds of it, but he's just decided because of the fact that he signed the contract, he's going to stick it out and then possibly look at other options after, which is fair play to him. Like most coaches, if the money was right, would consider going, but then also I don't think I'd want a whole country of angry South Africans after me if I did go coach someone else, because you have to win every single game or else you're going to get stick for life. Stormers will win tomorrow, do you think, says Mohadeen? I think they've got a decent chance. They are up against the Sharks, who have been struggling a little bit, of those Sharks going decent lineup by the looks of their side heading into the contest. Once again, knowing that this is the opportunity to try and make up some ground. At the moment, URC TV here in New Zealand, for myself anyway, is just a little spinny circle, so I'm not actually too sure what's going on. Like game share, says Avayo. How do you do that? Like on PlayStation, is it? Because I don't actually have a PlayStation, unfortunately. I need the Dragons to win. It would be hilarious. Says, hey, no Sports Hub. And, I think the new coach will make the All Blacks better. Says, what's up, guys? There's actually a little bit of pressure to be able to perform here. Who's the captain for the Stormers? I haven't actually seen who they've gone with as captain this week. And TG4 for Munster, says Patrick. And I need the Dragons to win would be hilarious. Says, hey, no. URC TV is not like me at the moment. It's still doing the little spinny thing. Waiting for it to load. But I should mention just for now that the Bulls, they have managed to get themselves another try for their, I guess, the winning streak. It is one match at the moment, so it is still Sasha. That's an interesting choice. Over here on the Great Temp is -15. -15 Celsius is a bit brutal, but the wind chill looks like it's even more brutal. In my opinion, Tony Brown would be better off staying with the Box to 2027. Seeing out the contract is always good for reputation. Says Studs Race. Yeah, it's the one that will cause less issue. And Marcel Coetzee scored driving maul. Says, hey, no, they have got that big 4-pack. Normally able to make the absolute most of it, but Marcel Coetzee, he is the captain for this contest as well. We'll have to kick to come, and I've still got the little spinny thing for us here, or at least for me it is. I'm not sure whether or not that is the case for yourself, Thuds Ray 2. I know you are watching. Any updates on the next All Blacks coach? Seems like Jamie Joseph is the most likely at the moment, but once again, that's just everyone speculating because they wanted to see it be Jamie Joseph, Tony Brown, and Joe Schmidt, I think, were the names that were getting thrown around the most. But that can't really happen. Right, I should mention Edinburgh are on attack now, 5 metres out from the opposition line. And Grant Gilchrist has the ball, so obviously a very good kickoff for this Edinburgh side as they get only about an inch out. Coverage does seem to be back and clear as ever now, which is great news, but this is not looking like it's going to be an easy bit of defending here for the Bulls, although they are doing very nicely, just a couple metres out from the try line. Good defence from Sebastian de Klerk, almost held him up. Now still sitting 3 metres out from the try line. Got a bit of work to do before this attacking move finishes. Now goes back across to Glenn Young. 6 Celsius right now, but raining constantly. URC TV, no glitches for me, says Studs Race. Now back across to the left again. Bradbury tries to keep his head low. Drive towards the try line on the short side. It looks good. Yes, it is. And it's Pierre Schoeman, the big man who does manage to score 2 Scottish internationals, scoring for Edinburgh at this point of the match, but they fire instantly back to get themselves another one. And that is the danger for this Bulls side at the moment. They do so well. That defence was solid. They weren't making mistakes, and then just the one little mistake, and then the opposition go in. Was that 2 tries within a minute? Not quite. I think that with the amount of time that it was glitching for myself, it was probably, I'd like to think it hit 2 or 3 minutes, because we've got to remember the kick took place about 30 seconds maybe for that, so they might get lucky. But yeah, very quick fire back there from Edinburgh. That was a good build-up there. I like the way they handled themselves. Says, what's up, guys? Did Pollard miss? He must be sacked. He's having a hard time off the kicking tee. But then saying that, this breeze does not help either, and the angle that they are working with for that kick as well does not go over. 10 points to 5. The way that it sits currently, I guess men can have multiple too. Says Big Rig. And also we have got their Bulls. Says Roof there. Right. Interesting. Ross Thompson has to go off for an HIA. He did just take a kick at the post though. Restart your computer, Image says Gavin. I think it was just down to the fact that URC TV, sometimes it works perfectly, other times it doesn't. But it seems to be running really smoothly now, which is good news. Drop ball from the Bulls. Unfortunate there for Cheswell Eustace. It was almost the opportunity for the Bulls to be able to retain their kickoff. The contract said you have to pay huge. Some of the money to get him out of the contract. The amount I found is ridiculous. It's a very high amount. Says Mornay. Yeah, like normally contracts do have that big release clause on them. I think it's the same as sometimes like football. They have a release clause on players, don't they? I don't think they do it in rugby that much though. Poor kick. Showing signs of head trauma. Well, at least he can blame it for missing the kick, I guess. It just looks like it's a hard day to try and nail a 2-pointer, which honestly could be the difference between these two sides. Whoever manages to get more of their conversions over. Wasn't that bad of a kick. Yeah, it looked all right to me. It just kind of drifted that little bit to the right. And we have got the Hi Guys, says 1, 2, 3. And also Scotland also having troubles with conversion. And also we have there with Sasha and Ford when you need them. Says Big Rig Joe. Munster losing 10-0. Not a good start for Munster. But once again, I wouldn't trust them in the second half, Munster. They can score a lot of tries in a hurry. It's a big push there from the Bulls scrum, but it is coming out the back for Edinburgh. Find themselves in possession, 22 metres out from their own try line. Being told to use it now for Ben Vellacott. Speaking of football, Dennis Rodman's daughter just signed a $3 million contract. Making her the highest paid lady footballer in the world. Says Big Rig. Dennis Rodman. That's a name that should ring a bell. For some reason, I thought straight with tennis, but it's not tennis, is it? When are you going to stream again? We got the Sharks versus Stormers stream, so that has taken place in around 21 hours' time. Now going back, Billy LaRue is taken back, so it won't be a 50-22. Also not the best kick as it goes straight into the hands of Glasgow, who do decide to play that ball early. Look for the boot downfield. That seemed like unnecessary pressure on Patterson there. And it does mean that the Bulls will have themselves an opportunity for a line out again. Let's go Dragons Sevens this weekend. Next weekend, I believe, is when the Sevens does get underway in Singapore. Going to be some fantastic matches taking place throughout that competition. I know that Fiji versus South Africa is a group stage fixture that will be happening. Did you just say Glasgow? Probably. What was the context? But I do think I said Glasgow. But did I say Glasgow on purpose or was it a mistake? Because I know that the Bulls play Glasgow next week, but I don't think that's what I would have mentioned. Now, in the middle of the field, oh, that one's going to be a 4 pass by the Bulls. Basketball, that's the one. He had a number on his back. I can't remember what number it was. Was it like 60-something? 65? Maybe. Do you guys think the Bulls will make the playoffs? I think if they win this game, they're a big step towards it, I would say. He's a dude who popularised major athletes dressing like they fell on washing line on number 91. So he's 1, 2, 3 MS. Fell on the washing line outside of a circus. And silly mistake says, hey no. He said into the hands of Glasgow. Well, then that was obviously an error, wasn't it? We have got there 5 degrees is not bad. And St. Petersburg is currently minus 20 degrees Celsius. And so you're going to stream tomorrow. I am indeed. We've got that Sharks versus Stormers match. And 2 South African scoring versus South Africa, basically propping up teams globally. Hard to meet a first test team with no South Africans. Most South African teams are all South Africans. Only reason they struggle, says Gavin. And it is pouring down with rain here. Oh, bit of a mistake there from Billy LaRue at the back. It is going to be kicked in a touch. That's a very good clearing kick when he was under pressure there, Billy LaRue. Did you get married and not invite us, says Mohadeen? I have not been married, no. Or have any plans of getting married in the near future. As once again, I say it every time, you need a second half of that. And I have not got that. Rodman play basketball for the Detroit Pistons, says Gavin. I actually think I've got a Dennis Rodman hoodie in my wardrobe. And I think it glows in the dark. Maybe. Never wore it. But it's probably lucky because or else if anyone tries to bring up basketball with me, I'll say, I don't know what you're talking about. Out off to the left-hand side, Edinburgh have got themselves the advantage on the halfway line. That was due to the early engagement of the rolling ball from the Bulls. Now, good low tackle made on Pierre Scorman by Johan Robillard. Back across, drop ball, but they are going back for the initial penalty. 1 and 4 early on the lifter. There's actually 2 of them penalised for that one. That was a surprise sneeze. Also wrestled as Hulk Hogan's tag team partner. So here's Big Rig. There you go. Now ready to go for the touchline here for Edinburgh. Once again, no taking the 3 points. You wouldn't want to in these type of conditions. And I feel like bonus points, as I said earlier on, are absolutely crucial for these 2 sides. Whoever loses this match still needs at least 1 to be stepping in the right direction towards a playoff spot. Cheetah's going to play Challenge Cup next year. I'm not too sure. I know that they missed out on the playoffs this year. Unfortunately for them, they did finish dead last in their group, I think. Or did they finish a little bit higher, in fact? They may have actually not quite been in last place. One moment, I'm about to sneeze again, so I will very quickly mute. We'll mention penalty goes the way of the Bulls during that sneeze as well. We have got the last documentary about the 1990s Bulls. Had an episode about Dennis Rodman. Good doco for sports fans. Usually you mute your sneeze, says, what's up, guys? Yeah, that one came out of nowhere, that one. Big speed run of a sneeze. We have got the Rodman probably has 20 kids, says Gavin. Enough for a basketball. Well, in fact, enough for most teams. Enough for a rugby team, in fact. You know, I'm sure you can find 3 fill-ins. Bless you, Hamish. says Big Rig. And Dragons 10-0 versus Munster, 25 minutes down, says Patrick. That's good at the moment for the Dragons. They just have to, once again, I'm not counting Munster out until that full-time whistle. Now, Johan Hrobela ready to throw this ball in once more. Nicely taken by the Bulls, and Ruan Nokia. Kutsia goes forward. This is a strong four-pack for the Bulls, and it's quite interesting that we haven't seen a huge amount of Gumeri or Yandre Rudolph as of yet. Maybe that's just due to the lack of possession that the Bulls have had. In terms of attack, that is going to be going forward. I thought off the Edinburgh hand, but it is going to be play on now for the Bulls, who are in position. Jan-Hendrik Wessels, no knock-on advantage either for this Bulls side. Now Andre Pollard tries a little chip in behind, doesn't quite sit up for him, and taken by Edinburgh. They've now got the possession back. It just seems like the Bulls are keen to not have the ball. What an upset it would be if the Dragons win this. As away from home for the Dragons. The Rockstad allegedly had about 20 kids. They are trying to find each other. I think 8 confirmed so far, says Big Rig. Now, kicked high again by Valakot. Not really going too far forward in that scenario. There's going to be another knock-on, this time from Edinburgh. And we'll give the Bulls the scrum. The Dragons are probably the only settled team in Wales, as in knowing their future. Yeah, see, it's a tricky one for the other sides, isn't it? Because, like, the whole season, you would have been thinking you're half a second away from, like, just disappearing for those sides. 1 second, another sneeze loading here. It was a good day for some hay fever, it would seem. Which is not ideal. I'll be sneezing while driving. Currently 13 minutes remaining in this first half. The Bulls have got themselves the scrum feed, sitting 35 metres out from the line. Barva's getting a bit of a hiding against Gloucester. How can they play? How can you play your best? No job security. It's got to be deflating, says Big Rig. I suppose just not in a good position, says Mohadeen. You see, it's a real tricky one. It's like what we saw. I know it's not the straight comparison, but Australia in that Rugby World Cup, the whole time knowing that Eddie Jones was going to probably ditch them for Japan. Like, as a player, it's very tricky, I would assume, to show up each and every day, train as hard as you can, knowing that your coach is about to ditch you. And then Eddie Jones going, nah, mate, I'm not leaving the Aussies. This is my team. And then he went to Japan like a month later. So obviously it wasn't quite his team. But that's going to be a penalty to Edinburgh in the breakdown. Freddie Douglas does manage to take that ball in the breakdown and win the penalty. What do you think about Glasgow winning against Sarries by that margin, says Kahu? Yeah, they did well in the contest. I'm sure they would have loved that number 1 ranking. But number 2, they are up against the Bulls, which could be a really intriguing game. And they will have to be on the A game because this Bulls side, you'd assume by then, would have found that little bit more rhythm. As Hamish says, Yanko, welcome in. Is it me or is this ref very generous with Edinburgh's inferior scrum? Says Yanko. Scrums at the moment have just been such a lottery. Not in this game, or not just in this game, I guess I should say, but like in every game at the moment, it's very hard to judge the scrums because you think, like you see something and then the ref just blows the opposite. Now going off to the left-hand side, Edinburgh sitting 42 metres out from their own line. They haven't spent a lot of time in just recent. Oh no, Darcy Graham goes through what I was about to say, as they haven't spent a lot of time in the opposition half throughout the last little while. But now Darcy Graham sitting 5 metres out from the try line, and now making it. Oh, I think it was Kurtley Ardenson making up the ground. Try and get back there. Here comes Darcy Ray, and there's an advantage for offside against the Bulls. This is once again the danger zone at the moment. Ooh, he spun in a weird way. Magnus Bradbury got twisted around. Now Morris. Back across. Oh, Darcy Graham. That's an interesting tactic. He's gone over the middle of the ruck, so they will go back now for the penalty. Dragons close to scoring again. Thought the Oz players who went to Rugby World Cup played their guts out. Just missing their best players. Such a weird squad. Yeah, just, it was weird in general, wasn't it? That World Cup group was weird in general. That Wales versus Fiji game was a confusing one. At the moment, the Ospreys are winning 7-5 in the contest. And dropping teams won't help Wales get out of their rut. I'll just make them worse, says Big Rig. Now, Pierre Skurman, quick tap taken. I'll tell you what, he's isolated there. And that ball, stolen by the Bulls. That was really poorly done by Edinburgh. They threw Pierre Skurman to the Wolves and then pretty much had no one supporting him in the breakdown. It is a gift of Edinburgh straight to the Bulls and saying pretty much, right, we had a great attacking chance, but here you go. You can have the ball back. Why are you not reading my chat? Says, what's up, guys? I literally just gave you the Lions update. Now that one's going to be going into touch. And now sitting about 20, say probably about 32 metres out from the try line. We have got there 13-0 to the Dragons. Says Kahu, I think it is better to invest in grassroots than I have depth for 4 teams. Says 123MS. Yeah, see, it's a tricky one because now they've got to find where do you put the players of the team that's leaving? Like, do you split them up and make the squads bigger of the other province or like the other areas? Because the thing is, that's still going to cost them, I would assume, quite a bit of money if they're buying all these extra contracts. Always nice to see this not get knocked out of Pierre Skurman. He's South African who plays overseas really well. He has already scored a try in this match. And so is Duan van der Merwe. So, they might get the last laugh in this contest. I've got to go into the try tunnel. I might have to get off the stream for a minute. Says, what's up, guys? And when you're leaving Amish, round half time will be when I have to get in the car and start driving. But we have got someone coming in to help with the second half. So you will have something to do with this game. I assume that he's going to do the play-by-play commentary, but he will be reading the chat too, not straight from the Bulls. They're their own worst enemy this side. I have to say, it must be so frustrating for Bulls supporters to see them finally do something good and then they just butcher it in the next second. Dragons 18-0, says Patrick. Is there any reason to tell us what's happening in the game? I want to watch later, annoying, says Studs Rays. Yeah, see, up until that stage, we have managed to avoid any sort of spoilers, so I do apologise for that one. We have got there, De Klerk just dragged out Scotsman into touch. I assume you're also talking about that Dragons Munster one too, perhaps. Now, ready for the scrum. Oh, I saw a message came up saying that someone entered the studio as well. Fun fact. But now, ready to put this ball into the scrum for Edinburgh. 32 minutes through. If they can score again now, they'd only be 1 away from that bonus point opportunity. Tim, it is not Tim. Oh, little short chip over the top. That ball's going to bounce in the field of play. Sits up for Edinburgh, 2 metres out from the try line again. The Bulls looking for the steal. They were close to getting themselves that ball in the breakdown. Bradbury, that's really optimistic from him to go to the short side. I think he was trying to milk the offside penalty and didn't end up getting it. I think it's time for me to open some Middleton and forget tonight. Says Patrick now going back across to the right-hand side here for Edinburgh. Passed up. It's actually Morris who is starting in that number 2 jersey, I should mention, rather than Ewan Ashman. A bit of a late change for Edinburgh there. Oh, a lot of screaming going on in the breakdown, but Grant Gilchrist, he gets about 1 metre out now. Bradbury, the captain. Does he decide to add it up? No, he'll give it off to Morris. Again, good defence here from the Bulls. Now Pierre Skurman. Now off to the right. Darcy Ray's over between the posts. And it's another try for Edinburgh. A lucky break for Munster, says Kahu there. Whose ball? It's currently Edinburgh's ball. And Darcy Ray has scored for that try. Thank you, Edinburgh, for teaching the Scots to speak Afrikaans. Says Anthony. And at the moment, they're teaching this South African side and the Bulls how to not make mistakes on attack. Because sadly, the Bulls have made too many of them throughout this contest. Each time they get an opportunity to almost break that little bit of momentum that Edinburgh have, they just give it straight back to them. We have got there, WF is wrong with Polly. Says young guy, get it since the internet. Just weird that people spoil knowing something doesn't actually mean you're clever, says Stunts Race. Yeah, we've had our fair share of spoilers throughout our time. It's normally other sports that you end up with the information on, to be fair, at random time stats. Oh, tell you what, Yandre Rudolph looked like he actually had his hand under that ball. I don't know my voice could go that high, but looking at that replay, I don't know if Darcy Ray actually got a clear grounding on that. That actually looked like Yandre Rudolph's hand was under the ball the whole time. And Polly is over the hill. Oh, now Darcy Ray has to make his way off the field for an HIA, even though he's just scored. I knew this was going to happen. Says, hey, no. And check, says such Ray. I think that should have been checked, shouldn't it? That looked like Yandre Rudolph actually did really well to hold that ball up. Unless they're saying after it was on his hand, then he put it down. Maybe. But honestly, that was a really good effort from Yandre Rudolph and probably at least deserved a checking from the TMO to see if he had held it up. Currently 17 points to 5. One try away from a bonus point here for Edinburgh. We're just going to see it here. Oh, no. That ball got kicked straight into someone's pint, unfortunately. If you wait long enough, most held-ups eventually get a grounding, says Yanko, and that's going to be now a ball. Oh, it's not straight line out from the Bulls once more. I think they're just getting confirmation from the touch judge there. And Ackerman is the Bulls' razor, says Anthony there. They're saying that someone should buy the man a pint. It looks like he's just got a water bottle now, unfortunately. One second, we'll go like that. And like that as well. I'll bring back Jake White. It says 1, 2, 3, MS. Yeah, that's interesting in terms of whether or not people have said that they want to see Jake now back for this Bulls side. I think it will take time under new coaches anyway, but it's definitely a frustrating period for this Bulls team, that is for sure, because, you know, the little things like not straight lineouts or knock-ons, like you'd like to think that that's not against the coach, that's just the players making those mistakes, but Ben Vellacott about to feed this ball in. Can Edinburgh secure a bonus point by half-time? Apparently they have got themselves the 3 tries. Another step there from Duan. Funnemerva bumps off David Creel, running sideways at the moment for Duan, but still slightly making some meters. Beer split or spilt. International live broadcasting of a horror tragedy, says Studs Race. Yeah, the commentators were saying hopefully someone buys him a new pint. But his pint did go flying. There's a knock on this time from Edinburgh. I think that was a big mistake. Says 1, 2, 3 MS. And the Bulls are drunk and Pollard must be sacked. Says Mohuddin there. And also about that waiting long enough. The ball eventually gets to ground. But yeah, like I still would have loved to see them look at that one. Because it looked like the angle of the ball when Darcy Ray put it down, it was probably down short of the line, and then the front of the ball was actually on the hand of Yandre Rudolph. Sorry, I'm back. And Ackerman's game plan is not Bulls Rugby, says Anthony there. And that makes it difficult, doesn't it? In terms of, you know, he's a great coach from what we've seen at some of his other sides, Ackerman, but sometimes coaches and teams just don't click. And it's that question of when do you decide that that is how it's going to be. Ball's going to be fed in here by Kurtli Arnse for the scrum. Now puts it in. It's a big push. There's a knock on there from Yandre Rudolph. A little bit lucky that the referee did not see that one, as they will go for the scrum reset. Do you think Munster will beat Glasgow next week in Scotstoun? Well, if Munster get beaten badly by the Dragons, it's very hard to say what they're going to do next week. You'd assume that they'd get better, but people thought that they'd get better for this one. And they're struggling up against the Dragons. Okay, the commentators there just saying about the fact that it was knocked on initially and then they ended up going up. Ospreys by 12, says Mohuddin. Now Kurtli Arnse again, ready to feed this ball in. A little bit of a different tactic from the Bulls side, as Zach Berger is still out there on the field and he's actually set up. Oh no, free kick goes the way of the Bulls. Yandre Rudolph taking the quick tap now, moving up to the halfway line. He is a dangerous ball runner. He's got plenty of power. And he does get it right. They need a try before the halftime break. The Bulls are currently down by 12 with 1 minute remaining for reaching the halftime break. Loose ball. Ruan Nokia passes it up to Sebastian Clerk. Inside pass there. Finds hands of Andre Pollard, who is hit hard and taken down. Darcy Graham almost managed to get the turnover in that breakdown. Now Johan Krubela still fighting for that breakdown turnover there at Edinburgh. Doesn't seem like it is quite coming just yet. Now off to the right-hand side again, Zach Berger. Looking off to the right. Still close enough. And still enough time, theoretically, to be able to create an opportunity to score. 30 seconds remaining in this first half. He can't handle the ball. And then knocked it out. I'll be annoying at that. Says, what's up, guys? Is Moody injured or he rested? I think he should have some sort of injury. I'd assume is the only reason they wouldn't play him, because he didn't play last week either, Kane and Moody. He was one of the few players who were left out. So you'd assume some sort of little injury is in there. Now Pollard, not quite able to get through. Pierre Skirman offloads up to David Creel. Okay, he's been tackled, so they do have to release him. Still 10 metres out from the line for the ball. Zach Berger, now Billy LaRue. Going to be play on, big collision between him and the Edinburgh defence, and Edinburgh win themselves the penalty just out from their own goal line, about 12 metres from it. And Duan van der Merwe, this seems like they are considering still going for one last attack here, Edinburgh. Yep, Velicott, he's looked for the touchline, hasn't managed to find it, and he's given the ball straight back to the Bulls. That makes no sense whatsoever if you're Edinburgh. I assume they thought there was a cross-kick opportunity on the cards. But now the Bulls round the halfway line will continue to attack. This might be either the best thing Edinburgh could have done or the absolute worst thing. And at the moment it's looking like the worst. That could also be the worst. Andre Pollard kicking that ball away. Now picked up at the back for Edinburgh, and they will break through again. That's Paul Hill, the replacement prop, gives it off to Bradbury, who now offloads and a drop ball from Patterson. That will be the end of the half, though. And it is 17 points to 5. I'm not sure what the tactic was there from Edinburgh. I assume that they were thinking that maybe they could go in behind, find some sort of space, and then chase it. Maybe Darcy Graham was supposed to be after it, but I don't think he was quite there, and there were actually two Bulls players back as they were heading towards the halftime kind of break, looking at the tunnel. Bulls and the ABs in a similar boat, players versus staff, game plans versus money. Says Anthony there. And that last 30 seconds was very weird. It was, but it almost led to an Edinburgh try, which once again just shows that the Bulls are making a lot of mistakes, because they could have had a counter-attacking opportunity and got something really handy going, maybe even score before the end of the half. But instead, they ended up in that scenario how they just had the ball, tried a little chip, gave it straight back to Edinburgh, who then got the last attacking chance of the half. Yeah, just lost control of the ball on that occasion. Says, what's up, guys? Jamie Joseph and Tony. Although it doesn't sound like Tony Brown's going anywhere for a little bit of time. Alison, to you from Clarence, says Michael. And there as well, one moment, I am about to sneeze, so I will quickly mute. We are good, hopefully. Now, also, with a little bit of luck, hopefully our guest will be joining, who will be taking over for the second half, as I'm going to be in a car driving somewhere in the very near future. I do see at the moment, though, he hasn't joined, per se, or if he has, he hasn't got a camera or anything turned on. So hopefully he'll be here soon. So I am able to head away, but we will be back for that Sharks versus Stormers matchup, ladies and gents, cricket today. So no, I've got a family event. Cricket's all been rained off because of the fact that there's no, the weather's just been brutal. So last game got flooded pretty much. Last weekend we didn't get to play. And then this weekend we also didn't get to play because of the bad weather. And the chances of playing next weekend are probably pretty slim as well. I think we're supposed to keep on getting rain. But no, heading up to a family event. So it's about a 2.5 hour drive to get there, 2.5 hours back. So yeah, have to leave in about, I'd say 15 minutes. Hopefully, like I said, does your host sneeze a lot? I can maybe ask him to sneeze a few times just so that you guys still get that feeling of me being here. But I'll be hoping to pop into Chichu, almost, kind of out to the side of Christchurch a little bit. So 7 in the Dragons, 13 in Nokia is not playing. Are you sure? I'm sure I saw him with the ball just before, and I also saw him make his way out of the tunnel. So are you sure he's not there? We have there who's the best captain for the All Blacks. Depends on who you talk to. I mean, I know that a lot of people quite like Sean Fitzpatrick back in the day. But, you know, Richie McCaw goes a long way. Or they're doing a little bit of Scottish dancing by the looks of it. And safe. Says Anthony there. And also Ruan is definitely playing, says Yanko. Do you think that money is the reason that South African teams have almost no foreign players? Most teams have Fijians, Aussies, Irish, French. Imagine a few test players plus the box on South African teams, says Gavin. Yeah, it might be down to the fact that they're just trying to grow the grassroots talent of South Africa instead. Perhaps. But, yeah, it's one of those ones that you could probably say, like, yes, some would say that it hurts them in some regards, but I also think it's a massive plus and a benefit. I know the reason is enough local talent. Yeah, exactly. They've got players all across South Africa. Like, there's probably guys who are playing for small clubs who could still make it on the big stage if they were given that kind of opportunity. My poor Bulls are limping. I still hope for a win nonetheless. But nonetheless, I will just quickly check if my guest gives me a little thumbs up so that I know that he's ready and also that he's got his TV on mute. So I believe he's in a different setup than normal. Little nod and then I'll chuck him in. Haven't got a nod yet, so we will wait a bit longer. We have got there. We could close all schools in South Africa except Paul Roos. Still field a world-class squad. Says Yanko and Osprey's 19. And there as well. But yeah, nonetheless, ladies and gents, I will have to hit the road, but we will be back for that Stormers versus Sharks game. What we will have is a guest for the second half of this contest, so we will chuck him up now. And what I will quickly do for a start is just put him in this corner. We have got Haino, who is currently muted. We will have to unmute.
Yes, people, we are.
Okay, we can hear you. So, as a Bulls supporter, first half I'm sure was a very frustrating one for you. But hopefully second half goes a little bit better.
Yeah, hopefully. Again, 3 tries in one half that we concede. So, yeah. Silly mistakes. That's been the big thing. Lots of silly mistakes. But, yeah, it is what it is. So, yeah, I think change of strategy needs to happen because this kicking battle technically, yeah, it's not working right now. Yeah, take Berger off and we go from there.
Well, it just seemed weird that they had the opportunity at the end of the half. They finally got the ball in hand after, I have to say, Edinburgh made a really weird mistake going for that kick in behind. But then the Bulls just went for another chip. Just decided to give it straight back to them. So, yeah, if they can play possession in the second half, they should be all right. But, yeah, nonetheless, I guess I'll leave it in your safe hands. I assume the scoreboard will stick around. I'll just leave my streaming stuff open so that it doesn't end up cancelling scoreboard for you. But, yeah, any problems, I'll be keeping an eye on it. I'll have someone in the car keeping an eye on it. Anyway, so, yeah, we'll see you shortly. Everyone stick around for the second half. Haino will take over. He's a Bulls supporter, so give him some love because he might need it, depending on how the second half goes.
Yeah.
And I'll see you guys tonight for the Stormers versus the Sharks.
Cheers, be happy, everyone. I'm going to try just sort out the layout. But, yeah. Let's see. So, Edinburgh have dominated the ball in the first half, but we haven't made things easy for ourselves. Like, I think the ball's been thrown in skew about 2 or 3 times at line-out time, giving forward passes, being in front of the kicker. Like, so many stupid mistakes. That's been our biggest letdown this entire time. Like, I don't think we've played bad necessarily. Don't think we've been bad defensively. I will try to sort that out, but yeah. So yeah, I'll try. What's up, guys? I will do so. Yeah, Kevin, hope you're well. Jan, I will try to sort that out. I'm just trying to do some of these other stuff on here. So yeah, hashtag pray for Bulls trending on socials yet again. Well, yeah, we're gonna need it, man. We're gonna need it. Give me 2 seconds, just see if I can maybe sort it out. I do see that the Dragons are leading at halftime. What's the Dragon score? Dragon score is 13 points to 7. So still very tight game in that one. 13 points to 7. And then Ospreys up against, and it's Lions, Ospreys are winning. Yeah, there we go. Okay. There we go. Now there isn't such big blur. Let me quickly this. Flishin says hi, Anna. Hi, Flishin. Hope you're well. Bulls, come on. Yeah, hopefully. Come on. More coffee? Well, if you're Bulls, then you're gonna need some more coffee because, geez, this is gonna be one long. If we don't win today, it's gonna be a long. It's going to be a long weekend, especially with the Sharks up against the Stormers. Because especially if the Stormers won, like that's gonna be very long. So yeah. Yeah. Bulls are self-destructive for some reason, makes no sense. Yeah. Very self-destructive. Very. I don't know why we do it to ourselves. Like 3 or 2 times we gave a skew throw in at line out time, 1 or 2 forward passes. So yeah, not been the best. Who's gonna score for the Bulls next half? Who's gonna score for the Bulls next half? I will go. I'll go. Yuan Robler, the Uka. I think he will score. Let's just see if I add the thingy. Does it work? Okay, I need to change. No, there we go. And we should be ready to go. There we go. Okay, there we have the stuff as well. Okay. US to score, maybe. Valley must have good second half. He does. The Clark is a good shout. The Clark, yes. Also, you need someone to set him up and let him loose. Definitely, and I think he needs space. So, yeah. Krill. I don't know. Krill been playing in inside center. I don't know. It feels like he's a bit weak right now. So yeah. So yeah, let's see. Second half is about to kick off. Let me just maybe get the score up. For in case it doesn't work, does not update. Okay, no, it is updating currently, so good. But I will have it on standby. Edinburgh catches it from the kickoff pressure at the breakdown. They have to get the ball away quickly. Edinburgh, they do so. Edinburgh now gonna go for a clearance kick. 2 subs in made. Ray off, Hill on Edinburgh, and then there's been one more. See now the Bulls going down at left-hand side. If it Krill with a kick comes off the Edinburgh player, but Kurtley Arons is there to pick up the scraps. About 40 meters out from the try line are the Bulls. Lee picks it up, gives it to Sebastian de Klerk, who goes into contact. Zakberger into Ruan Vermaak. Zakberger can knock on to backwards, says the referee. But bit of possession here for the Bulls early on. Big carry there. I think Marcel could see, I think there. Now Vili with a cross kick, trying to set up Chiswell, used a bit too far. And it's a good pass into Dwan van der Merwe, but he's tackled hard there by Marcel Coetzee and Sebastian de Klerk. Kick here from Edinburgh again. Going to look to clear it into touch. Let's see, again, unsuccessful. Willie on ball. Gives it to Chiswell. Juster on the break. He gets past one, gets past another. Bit of momentum here for the Bulls. But the referee says there was a knock on by Juster. So unfortunate. It looked very promising there for the Bulls. So, yes. West Wisconsin is from South Africa, yes. Thinks that Scrum for Scots is dangerous. Definitely, I think he is. I think he's getting a bit dominated at scrum time, but he's good. He's very good in terms of today's been good, not excluding scrums. He's been very good. Seems like Jesu used a bit of treatment. It's good. It's good this game is played on a Friday, but a letdown. In some respects, yes, it's not been the greatest game. But yeah, if you're looking for a better game, you're probably looking at that Munster game potentially. I don't know. Maybe even the Lions Ospreys game. That game so often 19 points to 12. So yeah, but it's not been the best game. So Jesu Yosa has been brought off. So I think for HIA, so it will probably be. So Keegan Ioannis will come on. That's the thing. But how does that shift the back line? Unless you're going to play Keegan Ioannis as wing. Oh, sorry. I forgot Trevino Jacobs is on the bench. Apologies. Trevino Jacobs, yeah. Okay. So Trevino Jacobs is on for Jesu Yosta. I forgot about Trevino. So he is on. Now I understand the power of a sneeze. LaRue needs to find that magic. Yeah, he needs to improve, especially one of those leaders in this team. Yes, he definitely needs to. Let's Bulls win the scrum penalty there on Edinburgh feed as well. So Johan Grobler now going for line out 5 minutes away from the try line. Bulls line out 3 minutes into the half. Can the Bulls score early on? And it's a good drive more. It's going forward. Johan Grobler, is it over? Yes, it is. It's a try for the Bulls. And I did say he will score, and he scored just 3 minutes into this half. And again, it's a rolling maul of the Bulls that brings then another try. So 10 points to 7. Kick to come. Line out. Ronald Kier takes it well. It shifts, and then gap opens. Jan Grobler snipes, and he goes over. It's try time. Bulls. Kick to come. Very important kick to come. Because if Pollard does kick this over, we can take the lead when we score next. And yes, he does kick it over. It's Handré Pollard with another kick. Handré Pollard. When you need him most, he steps up. We needed to get that point. So, yeah, man. They're showing that the kick into touch it. I would say the kick they're taking to touch it give us that liner. It was very close to going over the touch flag. So yeah. Bulls need to work on their lineouts. We only win them when the other team does not compete. Yes, that is very true. We do struggle to win the lineouts when the other team competes. Yes, we do. Like today, we threw the ball in twice or 3 times when they have competed. So yeah, that's a mistake from Darcy Graham. What's the referee saying? What's a penalty for not rolling away the Darcy Graham? To be fair, very harsh call, I would say, but it is a Bulls line out about 30 meters out from the Edinburgh try line. So the Bulls starting on fire. Edinburgh having almost none of the ball so far in this half. 40 meters out, apologies. On inside Edinburgh territory on the 10-meter line, it's a Bulls driving maul. Jan Grobler, now Zuckerberger, Chandra Rudolph, a big carry there, leaving it up to the forwards. Jan Hendrik Wessels, he's brought down. Jan Grobler in midfield needs a bit of support. Support does arrive in time for the Jackler could get there. Marcel Coetzee for good carry. Zuckerberger, Willie Leroux, inside ball to Stravino Jacobs. That goes over a few guys, goes over the advantage line. Now Gumedi inside Edinburgh 22 is the Bulls. Zuckerberger, Marcel Coetzee pops it up for Pollard. Willie out wide to Kirtley. Kirtley does well, about 10 meters away from this Edinburgh try line. Pressure head breakdown as Zuckerberger has to pick up himself. Now Johan Grobler pick up and drive. Again, the Bulls just about 10 meters out. Big tackle there on Walco Low. Now it's Pollard taking on the line. Pops it up to Willie. But in no man's land, the Bulls. Then a chip kick from David Krill straight into the hands. Edinburgh and they call a mark. Yeah, the Bulls lost the shape there. They lost their shape and it just never got back into shape, unfortunately, for the Bulls there. Scott's falling back. Yeah. Jacobs, Goodberger, and Coetzee. Yeah. Jacobs, Zuckerberger, and then Coetzee. Yeah. Munster 7, and Dragons 13 for 8 minutes played. Fair enough. That would be massive. I want to have a look. How would the standings look if the Dragons won? So if the Dragons won, So let's say the Dragons get 4 points. 4 points currently puts the Dragons above Connacht and above whoever loses in this game, and above Ospreys. So a win for the Dragons puts them around 9th or 10th. So yeah, but it is a Bulls line out on the Edinburgh 22 on this right hand side. It's competed by Edinburgh, but the Bulls win it. And then at the front, as the ball was slapped forward, now Zach Berger on the ball. Zach Berger, Jan Grobler into contact. Zach Berger again snipes dummy, gets half a gap. And then the Vessels of pass out wide to Wilco Low, who takes a few men down with him. And then the Vessels again, but it's knocked on by the Bulls, I believe. And oh no, referee says it's intercepted. Finger was knocked backwards by the Bulls, then intercepted by Edinburgh in the tackle. And the Bulls give away possession and a golden opportunity to strike. That's now twice the Bulls in this half. After they scored that first try, have given up possession so easily. But now the Bulls on the counter. Ravino Jacobs is brought down in midfield. Curtly Aronson needs to go to work in the midfield. Pollard, carrot pass to Jean-André Rudolph. De Klerk, chip kick in behind. It's a foot race between him and Antoine van der Merwe, and the dead ball line will win it. Yeah, 13-7 months a game in favor of the Dragons. Yeah, insane. Where was this? Robert, High, All, and Hamish. Hamish has gone he's gone on a road trip, I believe. So, yeah, just got done preparing the snowblower for a foot to 14 inch of snow. Well, that's a lot of snow. Now, in South Africa, we don't get snow. So that is a lot of snow. Like, we would get snow, but it would all where I'm from, in parts of South Africa. If we do get snow, it's like it's not even 1 inch. So, which could do a huge upset. It would be very massive. It would be massive. Waiting on a takeout dinner. Let's see. Bulls feed 5 meters away from the Edinburgh try line. The scrum does collapse, and referee calls for a knock on by Zach Berger, which means it would be Edinburgh feed. Very unfortunate there for the Bulls. Again, a golden opportunity. That's three chances to take the lead. It's been thrown away. Garlic bread and cheese with chips. That's a very interesting combo, but it doesn't sound bad. Doesn't sound bad, Patrick. Doesn't sound like a bad combo. It sure looks different. Yeah. Yeah, you can't go wrong. It's only 5 points. Yeah, only 5 points of difference, and the Bulls have had no free opportunities to score in probably the space of like 8 minutes. They were close to the try line, and it's been a knock-on or a penalty that's been conceded. Sadly won. So, yeah. So it is Edinburgh feed about 10 meters away from the try line. It was a Bulls feed, but there was a knock-on by Zach Berger, just called by the referee. So now it's an Edinburgh scrum, and they get the penalty what's the call? But for swinging, interest, because I thought both teams went the wrong, like swung the scrum, but okay. Referee says Walker Low leave was the guilty party. Only eat meat when you've got cheese and hot chips. Fair enough. Fair enough. I see your point. I see your point totally. So it is an Edinburgh line out, just inside just in front of the 10-meter line. Now they win that ball, scrappy at the line out, chip in behind, ball bounces in favor of the Bulls. It's John Krabler that picks it up. Nice clear out work there. Now Pollard. On Krabler. Takes it up again. Zuckerberger, Pollard, Gumedi. He knocks it on. And Edinburgh to have it again on their 10-meter line. Duan van der Merwe gets through off a gap, and the referee says there was a knock on there by Duan, and they will go back to the first knock on. Is this wait? Yeah. Wait. I had to block a sneeze of my own there. Is that like Irish spicy bag of chips? What do you mean, Robert? I guess you're talking in the Bolton, that's Crown Royal, and Coke, whiteout and snow on the outside. To be fair, Jan, I don't disagree. That is proper. Right. Even when I love steak, fair enough. Chocolate chips biscuits. I don't understand this ref. Why does tell them no for messing with the ball and not penalize them? When will he ever call advantage as they slow ball down, get away with it? Yeah, I think both teams been getting away with slowing the ball down. 7, like, yeah, I think, and penalty against Edinburgh for high tackle, quick tap taken. It's Johan Krobler that's been incredible, and it's Willie Leroux. That's a high tackle. No, it's brought down just inside the 20. I don't know why he looked for the pause. It could have continued on open try line, basically. Let's see now the Bulls on the attack. They have to score now. Grubber in behind, and the Clark knocks it on, unfortunately, but Edinburgh under massive pressure. Yeah, let's see what they can do. The referee is playing advantage. So what? Penalty against the Bulls there. Oh no. Okay, no. It's stop time. I believe the Clark has got a knock to the head. When he tried to pick up the ball from the grubber, I think there might have been some sort of collision with him against the Edinburgh player. Homemade chips and gingerbread. Oh, garlic bread, sorry. All good. Yeah. To be fair, I like garlic bread. I didn't for a while, but then I got like someone made like ones that were actually good, and that was nice. Got Jack Daniels in the freezer, beer chaser. Well, I might need some if the Bulls lose tonight. So yeah, feel free to send it over. We got to have some. I don't know what Devil's Lettuce is, but well, if you're saying it's good, it probably is. Then I don't know. Dragons 20 points up, 20 points, 20 points up to 7. Wow. Wow. So, people, the Dragons seem like they're gonna win. Dare I say it? Dare I say the Dragons seem like they're gonna win? So who's coming on? So there seems to be subsets going to be made. Ospreys Lions is currently 19 points to 7. Dragons Munster is 20 points to 12. And Bulls is 17 points to 12. So yeah, the clock is still down. And they are still checking, I believe. So yeah. There's going to be subs made for the Bulls. Referee is checking it. I think he's cleared it and said there's nothing. Not sure. Just gonna mute myself then listen. Okay, so they checked for two shoulder or high tackles, and it's been cleared both. The first one saying it was contact on the shoulder, and then the player is stepping down. So yeah, interesting. Well, I don't do wheat, so yeah, no. Thank you, Robert. Fair enough, yeah. Fair enough. Bulls gonna get their try, hopefully. Sun saying Bulls fighting back. Good signs. Yes, it is, but we need to score the try quickly. So Marcel Coetzee is taken off. So Monet Smith is on for Wokolo. Van Staden is on for Gumedi. And yes, I think it's gone. Yeah, I don't think he paused it. Yeah, no, Captain will be buzzing tomorrow, especially like around the stadium area. It'll be packed. So yeah, still game still stopped. So yeah, nothing really going on. So Ospreys leading 19 points to 17, about 55 minutes gone. Munster leading 20 points to 12, and Bulls trailing 17 points to 12. Come on, the Berg and the kitted Saffas. I think what you're referring to the Bulls. Then, so Nizamkar is also on. I believe who is he on? And he's probably on for Kutsia then. Yeah, seems like the Clark is not in a good condition. Yeah, that's not good for the Bulls. That's really not good. Seems like the Clark has got dead knock, and it doesn't seem in a good state. Right now, he's getting stretched off. Well, yeah, seems like he is so responsive. So hopefully, he is. He's all good. Oh, now, yeah, Chris. Now I get you. Big and yeah. Now I get you. Now I understand. Chris, my response to that is Bulls all the way. So, yeah. The Clark doesn't look in good condition. But we'll finally get the game underway again after a long stoppage. We'll finally get this game underway. If you do see the timer there below, it is not 65 minutes. It's 57 minutes. It is finally the Edinburgh Scrum will take place. They're not on from the Clark. So, Edinburgh Scrum. A few new fresh faces picked up there by Edinburgh. Chandra Rudolph tries to steal that one. Those will snap out of it, hopefully. It's Butterscotch from Scotland. I don't know. Let's find out. But Scotch. It's a toffee. So let's see. Found it. England. So Ruby. So there's been a massive delay in the game. The Clark got a head knock, so yeah, he's been stretched off. The Bulls did score in the first 4 minutes of this half. It's been all the Bulls in the second half. Edinburgh haven't even come out of their own half yet. But we're touching 60 minutes only now. So yeah. 59 minutes. On the Scrum competitive, on one side I would mention Saturday. It's competitive, but I think we have it slightly, but it is new front rows for both teams. And that's just silly, man. Pollard and Willie Leroux not communicating. Was it Harold Foster and Willie? Zach Berker with a pass there to Pollard. He tried to pass it to, I think, Mornay Smith, and then Willie ran the dummy line and hit Willie. Knock on. Oh, is it? Fair enough. I thought it's from England. Yeah, Google says it's from England. You think they're going to let the Bulls coach go soon? So as a Bulls fan, I think we're gonna stick with him. We're just gonna see out the season and then plan from there. So yeah. All right, Bruce. Hope you're well. You wearing? No. So Hamish, it has gone on a road trip just outside Christchurch, somewhere outside Christchurch, I think. So he's gone north, I think, if I have it right. The New Zealand map. But he's gone somewhere there. So the Bulls have plasters. Well, I have plasters on. The Bulls also, yes. Like we're stopping the bleeding for now. They are tough though. I'm sure they can pull it through. Hopefully, Ruby. Bulls get the ball. Well, it is currently an Edinburgh scrum, and the ref says we dominated that scrum there. The referee says it's gone down at the far end. Hopefully enjoys it. So yeah, but yeah, so been a very stop-start game. So I've got an update for you guys. Munster have hit back 19 points to 20 up against the Dragons with 10 minutes left to play. The Lions, with about 20 minutes to play, have taken the lead 22 points to 19. Free kick goes against the Bulls for pushing early. I think probably for pushing too early there. I'm not sure. Pushing too early? Yeah, probably. Who's Davies back here? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not totally sure. For Aquaman's sake, we need to win. But yeah, from the start, I didn't think we would win. Yeah, but I didn't think we would win. But if we do win, that would be like the confidence we can get from winning back-to-back away games. Especially like Edinburgh's we haven't beaten Edinburgh in the URC away from home. Like this would be the first time. And we've got a good opportunity. Once we've dominated the second half, we just need to flipping score. Yes, I was here when the Lions outperformed the Bulls, yes. Yes, I was here. Yes, Ruby. And with Edinburgh have turned the ball over. It's a kick behind Pollard under pressure of the kick, and it goes out just outside the Bulls 22, and Edinburgh get massive territory there. Yeah, the Bulls just give away the ball. Yeah, just spills out at the breakdown. Then it's a monster kick from the Edinburgh number 15. And it's Pollard who has to make some good clearance kick. Nice trick play off the line out. It's Edinburgh. Oh, referee calls them back for skill throw. Thank you, ref. Referee saying a skill throw. So Jan Hendrik Wessels is also off, and it's Jacquini that's on. Bulls should pull this off, bring on the bomb squad. Well, the bomb squad is on, and I think we've used basically everyone almost. The Bulls make themselves work too hard unless they do not play smart at all. They don't. It is 65 minutes. So for anyone wondering, the time on the thingy is wrong. It is it's gonna at 66 minutes right now. So yeah. No, it's hard, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I'm a Shark supporter, I know the pain. Fair enough, Ruby. It is so. Massive carry there by Chandra Rudolph. Now the Bulls have got a bit of momentum. It's Berger that goes for a snipe, gets through off. Gap Harold Foster is there for support. And they pull it off a chip in behind. This could land in the favor of the Bulls. No, it doesn't, but it is called back for penalty advantage. I believe it was at scrum time, a penalty against Edinburgh. Let me just. So yeah, but Ruby, hopefully the Sharks beat the Stormers. Like that would just make my day. The first paint coat just tried, and the score is 17 12. Yeah, it's not been the best half of rugby, and the Lions have increased their lead to 24 points to 19 people. So that is now a 5-point game. Lions leading, Ospreys away from home. So Bulls your number one side, who's your second. Anyone that's playing against the Stormers is my second side. And after that, it's right now it's a Dragons probably. But anyone, that ball needs to come out, Berger. Get that ball out. So the Bulls driving more. Get that ball. Yes, okay, it's out. Bulls about 40 minutes out from the try line. It's Harold Foster with massive carry there. Zach Berger as well, not to knock that one on with massive pressure there. Advantage for the Bulls. 10. And that's going to be a penalty. It was a rough clean out there by Nizam Khan, but they will go back for a penalty. I believe a penalty for offside. Just come to stop. No more points. But we could have some more points here. Bulls have got a penalty, so they're probably gonna go. We're going to go for touch. Let's see how close can Pollard sit this. If I was the Sharks, but I would be too scum to admit it. Bruce, to be fair, I agree with you. AI has taken over. AI has Anthony. Ruby says, if the Sharks beat the Stormers, I'm going to make Babuti tomorrow and munch it like a maniac, like a maniac. Fair enough. Wait, if the Sharks win, that'd be massive. What are they showing? And time is on. Pollard with a kick. Sticks it very close to that touchline. Probably not as close as he wanted. About 10-15 meters away. Bulls line out. 15 meters away from the Edinburgh try line. There's the Bulls. And it is a time off. Okay, so referee saying Edinburgh need to give them space, so the space wasn't right, so the lineout will happen again. Bulls by 60, says Anthony. No, that will happen. If the Summers win, it's Oxtail Poiki, says Andy. And free kick given against Edinburgh there for closing the gap at line-out time. Monet Smith. Sorry, Marco van Staden with a massive carry. Gets over the advantage line. Is over the try line. Has he got it down? What's the call by the referee? He's saying it's held up. The Bulls look confident that the try has been scored. Referee says it's held up. 10 minutes left in this game. Could all come down to this decision. Let's see. So on-field decision, I believe, is no try, held up. So Marco van Stam gets past the tackle and surely gets it down there. That angle is not going to tell us. This one is... Well, if I'm using common sense, it's got that down. That's all I'm saying. Correct time is currently 70 minutes. So 70 minutes is the correct time. So there's about 10 minutes left. There's the ball in the air. I think it gets that down, you know. Maybe I'm using my blue tainted glasses, but he gets that down. Let's see. So there he is over the line. There comes a hand. And there he places it. What's the decision? Oh. Wait, try's been given. Yes. Yes. Try's been given. The Bulls have made it 7th in all with 10 minutes to go. Kick to come. Come on, Bulls. Try time. Try time, Bulls. It's Mornay Smith, the substitute. Apologies, I confused him with Marco van Staden. It's Mornay Smith that goes over. Oh, no, it is Marco. That's not Mornay. It's Marco that goes over. Or is it Mornay? One of the two went over. Pollard with the kick, and the kick is good. 19 points to 17. Bulls lead 19 points to 17. I'll get to the chat now. Try in a short while's time. Yes. Big try for the Bulls. Bulls can win. Bulls can. There you go. Says Ruby, I wanted to bet on the Bulls. I should have. Well, the game is still not over. Chandra Rudolph now. Ambrose Papi with a kick in behind. Could be a 50-22. Oh, it just bounces right. So the ball bounces for a second time right next to the line, and it doesn't just bounce right way. And that kick has gone into touch from Edinburgh. Yeah, thank you, Pollard. Throw the long Lecheras. Yeah. So the Bulls could maybe get a bonus point here, people. The Bulls could get a bonus point. About, let's say 40 meters out from the try line. And that line out has gone begging now. Edinburgh on the counter. Great tackle there by David Creel in midfield. Done Chris saying the one want to DVH. Managed to score the winning try, Edinburgh, with the win by 3, missed the conversion. Fair enough, if you're so confident. Nice comment. Now be good and clean, says Jan. Yes, Aronson needs to show some magic with a miracle try. Well, currently it doesn't because we're leading, but it would help. Billy, with his left boot, it's a good clearing kick under pressure. Edinburgh kick it back, but he's kicked it out on the full, and that's a massive mistake. Massive mistake by the replacement scrummer for Edinburgh, Charlie Shield. Yeah, Hrobler Hrobler is still on the field. Hrobler is off. Is not off. Me to be rude, what's your name? I've seen you before, but I'm bad with names. So my name is Hano, so HANNO. Hope that plastic energy from Edinburgh. Alright. Now we see Sravino Jacobs taking it up into the line. Is that turnover ball for Edinburgh? Yes, it is. And I think they can send Bucky's Butter 5 minutes as an impact player. Well, it would help. Sandy, the question is, would Bucky's Butter last 5 minutes on the field today, in today's rugby? Would he last 5 minutes? Because I'm thinking he gets sent off inside 5 minutes with a red card or a yellow card inside 5 minutes. But it is a line to Edinburgh on their 10-meter line. Not the best. There's a pass to Charlie from the line, off from the line. Now Edinburgh have to clear their lines. It's a kick high up into the night sky, and it's knocked on by the Bulls. It's advantage to Edinburgh. They're gonna run from their own 22. They can't kick it, otherwise it would go directly into touch. Darcy Graham with a bit of magic down the touchline. Edinburgh now up to the halfway line. Now playing backwards, Edinburgh. Now back out wide. Duan van der Merwe. Duan van der Merwe still on his feet, getting past a few guys. Now over the ball is Mornay Smith and John Rudolph. They're fighting for the ball. Then it's knocked on. The Bulls have knocked it on. They won the ball, knocked it on as he went to ground. Now chance here, Darcy Graham with a kick in behind, and it's just gone out. The touchline wins. He was gonna score for all money if that ball stayed in. There was no one in behind for the Bulls. Hi Ruby. Was maybe no. Your beer is in your ijskast. Thank you, Ruth, for the compliments. I know I'm not the best at it, like Hamish. Like Hamish is probably much better than I am, but yeah. Could use Bucky right now, about now for sure. We could, but again, would he last? And Reinhard Ludwig is on for one for Mark, the last sub to be made. I've loved a dirty ball game, everyone scrambling. It's hectic right now. Updates, Munster won by 2 points up against the Dragons. They got a late conversion. Late penalty goal. Munster kick it over 22 points to 20. And Bulls have somehow won the ball at the line out. It looked to be stolen by Edinburgh, but the Bulls won it. And they have 3.5 minutes left. They're inside their own 22. What do you do if you're the Bulls? Do you clear it? Do you run with it? Seems like Papier is going to kick this one long. And it does kick this one long. It's Darcy Graham that's going to counter. A nice inside ball to the 15. Harry Patterson kicking behind that. Could roll all the way. Does it go all the way? Yes, it does. And it will be a mistake from Ross Thompson. And it will be a Bulls scrum. But just inside their own half. I know, are you Team Brandy or Team Beer? Trying to get Hamish to do it with Brandy and Coke in 2026. Xander, I am none of them, to be honest. I'm not on a team, one of them. So, I'm on Team Coke. So if you give me a Coca-Cola, I'm good. Just on the visit now. If we had him at scrum off, oh, please. Thanks, Ruby. Thanks. Yeah. At least, Ruby. At least I'm not a stormer. Can we agree on that? And scrum going the full 180 or full 360, whatever you call it. So that it will be a scrum reset. 90 seconds left to play. 90 seconds. So the Lions game is currently 24-all. Bulls scrum. And he gave the penalty. Oh, I thought for a second he gave the penalty to Edinburgh. He gives the penalty to the Bulls, and it seems like we're gonna seal it. It's not finished yet. There's 30 seconds left. Come on, Bulls, smackdown time. Yeah, time. Okay. Bulls line out inside Edinburgh territory. Whatever you do, don't throw the ball skew. Player of the match on Hrobla, he's been amazing in the second half. Okay, driving more for the Bulls. Could we get a bonus point? Wait, if you man. Okay, no, we've decided to kick it out, and that's full time. The Bulls won. Bulls get 4 points. It's a win. It's back-to-back wins for the Bulls. Come on. So full time, the Bulls were 19 points to 17, as the score says there. Johanna Krobler, man of the match. I'm actually the first time the Bulls have beaten Edinburgh at home in the URC. That's massive. That's massive. All right, what a win for the Bulls. So yeah, the Lions score is currently 24-all, and there's about 5 minutes left in that game. So I just quickly want to switch over to that one. So Ospreys against the Lions. Ospreys have a driving more. Those conditions look horrible. Lions do have a yellow card. Xander, I will bring up the points table. I will bring that up. I just want to see what happens in the Ospreys game. And the Lions, with 5 minutes left, stop the Ospreys driving more. Those conditions in this Ospreys Lions game is absolutely horrible. Hopefully the Bulls make the playoff. The Bulls scored. It's massive. Ruby, the second time. Get that right. We're on a winning streak. 2-time winnings. 2 wins in a row. Come on now. Lions will be full-blown artists if they draw again. Well, it is a Lions free kick, but they are 5 meters away from their own try line, so don't know really what you do. Yeah, do not forget to hit that like button and subscribe. The Bulls game has ended. Win for the Bulls. I'm just gonna stay on till the Lions game ends because it's 24-all with 4 minutes left to play. May as well stay on. I've got permission from himself, so okay. Let me try find that one. Okay. Knock on there by the Lions. Ospreys have the ball. About 40 meters away from the touchline. Okay. So yeah, Ospreys advantage 5-8 is just gone. Chance here, Ospreys, they break through. Can they get through? No, it's a great covering tackle. About 10 meters away from the try, and they cut out pass out wide. They do have advantage. Still the Ospreys, and they do lose it there. But it will go back for advantage. Offside. It's a penalty for offside, and it's gonna have a word the Ospreys captain because looking at probably try scoring opportunity there. Let me just get back to the chat quickly. JP, I'm just filling in for Hamish. He's gone on a road trip. And so be full blown artists if the draw. Yeah, I read that one. Sandy said, I really didn't think the Bulls would win. To be fair, we dominated the second half, but I didn't think we would win. I thought we won't get that try. I didn't think we would get it. Foreigners to fighting to make playoffs. It's scary, yes. But at least we're still making playoffs. Jake White must be laughing at this Bulls team. Well, maybe. Bulls galloping tonight like stallions? Of course. Yes, Roof. Sander saying, now we saw hashtag pray for Lions movement. Yeah. My heart is too fancy to be stumped on by Lions. Let me go to sleep and stop supporting teams that have nothing to do with me. Fair enough. So Ospreys are going for the 3 points. It's in the middle of the field, about 30 odd meters out, center field, 90 seconds left. When your team the game, let's see. Ruby, that's the word on the street, but we don't know yet. Maybe is, maybe it's not. Well, Bruce, Ospreys have a chance to take the lead. The kick is missed. He's kicked it to the left. He's kicked it to the right. The Ospreys fly off from straight out in front. 30 meters out. Should be knocking them over with ease. Come on, Lions. Well, Ospreys have the ball. I think the Lions are just holding on here for a draw. Take those 2 points. But it's horrible conditions, honestly. Mud, rain. Probably wind as well. But 20 seconds left. Ospreys have the ball. About they're still inside their own half, so yeah, I think they've blown their chances. Let's see, clock's gone in the red. It's at the 80th minute mark. Still Ospreys still inside their own half. Close to the halfway line. Now they get over it. But yeah, still not enough. They need to get closer. They need someone to make a big line break. But this Lions defense is like a red wall. It's holding on. Lions drawing back-to-back games. Wow. Could have had some big though. If you bet on them trying again this week. Cheers, Ruth. Hope you have a good night. Hope you have a good night and a good sleep. Ruth, hope you have. So yeah, Osprey's gone through 14 phases. Nobody really getting over that advantage line or anything. Harry Deves now pushed back. Now the Lions trying to win the counter-attack there. They've pushed the Ospreys back to the 10 meters line. So something has to give, because surely they can't just be doing this all over again. And the Lions almost turned the ball over there. Now a bit of broken play here. Ospreys, it's inside ball to the number 10. And he's made his way up so close to the 22. Ospreys now with a chance. Late in this game, the clock's gone into the red. 82 minutes. Chance here for Ospreys. Bit of broken field. And we see now the Ospreys have a really good chance. 21 phases. This is incredible defense from the Lions. They're inside the 22. They need to get passes. Right wall off the Lions again. It's holding up. Lions are so close to stealing it at the breakdown, but then Ospreys just somehow get it. But I'm doing it again this weekend. Like it a lot. Let's see. It's gone for the drop goal, and it's probably such a stupid idea. Or did it go for a cross kick? It's a free kick now. Lions on the counter. Lions up to halfway. He's brought down number 13 of the Lions. I don't know exactly who it is. He's got the scrum cap on. Good night, 1, 2, 3. Good night. Hope you have a good rest. We're into 83 minutes, guys. The Ospreys had close to 30 phases. Like, oh, Chris Smith breaks the line. He sells the dummy. He's gonna go all the way. No, he puts a kick in behind. Who's gonna win it? Oh, he's not. It's Angelo Davids that could have won it in the end. It just couldn't reach it in time. And that's full time. The Lions draw again. Angelo Davids with a golden opportunity to score, but the ball won the race and went out into touch. And it ends 20-all. I'm just quickly just gonna bring up the standings. Yes, okay. Let me first zoom in. Okay, let's see. See if I remove that, shade this, and then we go to this, add this. No, which one is it? This one. No. Apologies. Where's this one? Let's just go to this one. This one. Let me zoom in a bit more. There we go. No. Okay, but then I'm just gonna read it out loud. Then I'm just gonna read it out loud. Okay, move. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna read it then. Go to this one. Keep it like that. Okay, so I'm just gonna read where the table sits. So Stormers are first, Glasgow are second, Munster are third. Glasgow and Munster are tied on points with 34. Ulster are fourth with 31. Cardiff are fifth with 31. Leinster are sixth with 30. Lions and the Bulls are on 23 points. Lions are on 23, Bulls on 20. So, yeah. Ospreys are on 20 points. Benetton on 19. Edinburgh on 18. Dragons on 17 and 12. So the Bulls are in the top 8. Edinburgh are 11th. Dragons are 12th. So, yeah. Then we'll end it, yeah. Good night to you all. Thank you guys for welcoming in. The Sharks are 14th. That's where you are. Or 14 points. So yeah. I just skipped you guys because I was like, tomorrow you're gonna win. You're gonna win, but with a bonus point. You're gonna go above Edinburgh. That's what's gonna happen, Ruby. So yeah. But yeah, thank you guys for welcoming, and thank you guys for letting me do this. Also, thank you to Hamish for allowing me to do this. And finally, the Bulls won again in the URC. What a wonderful side it is. Yeah. Yeah, we'll wrap it up on that. Big thank you to you guys. And yeah, I know tomorrow Stormers Sharks. Hamish will be covering that one, so do stay tuned for that. Make sure to like and subscribe, and then I'll see you all Hamish, and we'll see you all on the next one. Cheers.